Welcome to the Earning Freedom Program and Success After Prison. I am Michael Santos here for episode number 2 with David Ramirez. David, if those of you who missed the first episode, to give you some quick background, he is a graduate from Stanford University and Stanford Law School. He told us that he began a career in criminal defense law, did some practice in real estate before he got motivated and inspired to work in education. And he is currently at a high-level position with the California Department of Corrections, overseeing part of their correctional education programs and legal programs. But we are having a conversation today, continuing episode number 2 of informational products. I'm sharing with him exactly all of the tools that I use to build the Earning Freedom Program and Success After Prison program. And I'm showing that to him because I want him to understand how I use it and how he can use it too. So I'm hopeful that this is a useful tool for all of you. One of the things that I wanted to show you right now is continue this process of sharing my screen, David. Before I turn to the question that you asked me at the end of last episode, is I want to share my screen with you and show you exactly what the program looks like that I'm going to be using to create the video, because it is right here. That is the raw footage from our first file. Do you see that on your screen right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you see that you have a big section right here, and then you have my little video right down here, right?
Right.
So when I mix this, here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go up here to edit, and actually I'm going to go over here, I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to hit crop. Now this is a very big file, so it takes a little while to work, especially because I've got a number of different things going on right now. But I've got a call included. Let me call. Hello, this is Michael. I'm sorry, but I'm on the middle of a webinar. Can I call you back a little bit later? Thank you. It's great. If it's on my other phone, I'll call you in about an hour. Thanks. Bye. Okay, sorry about that. But see, when you're in the using technology, you're always getting calls. And so,
no problem.
Okay, there it is. Now you see when I hit cropping, it opened up that way?
Yes.
Okay, watch what happens when I move this left. Look at the left side of your screen, and do you see how I just cut that over right there?
Right.
Okay, watch. I'm cutting that over, and watch what I'm going to do on the top. I'm going to cut the top down. And watch what I'm going to do on the bottom. I'm going to bring the bottom up. And then I'm going to go to the right. And I know that's about probably 900. No, not quite 900. Maybe it's 800. That's about right. Okay. Then I'm going to take this. And I'm going to move that up right there. I'm going to move this in a little bit. Left. Move that over like that. And that'll be fine. Then I'll move that right there. And then all I have to do is I will save this file, Dave. And that is what our video is going to look like when I publish it. So I've cropped out all this other stuff. And I could actually put a little brand in there. I could put Earning Freedom or something like that if I chose right there.
Okay.
I'm not that sophisticated, so I don't really care about it. But you're seeing these are what professional tools will allow us to do. So now I'm going to export that, and it'll export and be saved. I want it saved in the same place. Actually, I want to choose another file where I want it saved. I want to save it in my external drive, because I know this is a very big file. I'm going to go to your file. Can you see me doing all of this right now on the screen?
I sure can.
So I'm going to open another file right there. I'm going to write Dave YouTube 1. Create. And now I know exactly where that file's going to be. Boom, when it's all done. That will take an awfully long time to render because it's a very big file. So I can close that out and allow that to work in the background. And now you have seen exactly the entire process of how I record audio, record video, use software as a service programs to edit the file, and I will turn it into a YouTube video, and then I will put it onto a CD, and I will use this to teach people in prison how they can create their own jobs, how they can create relationships with leaders in society. And my message is always to people, you've got to add value first before you ask to get value. So it's my hope that I'm teaching you something and I can build a relationship with you, and then you can teach me something later. And that's what I try and teach people in prison how to do. Now, the last episode, go ahead, you're going to say something?
Well, I was going to say that is a very useful precept, because you have to, I think it was Earl Nightingale that came up with the phrase that, you can't sit in front of the stove and expect it to give you heat without putting wood in. So
that's a great analogy. Our course, the Earning Freedom Mastermind course, is telling people that, the best time to plant an oak tree, as the saying goes, is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. I wish that I had made great decisions when I was 18, 19, 20 years old, so I never would have gone into the prison system. But I didn't. What changed for me was that when I went into the prison system, I realized I want to be better. I want to build friendships with people like you and learn from you. And so I think, what can I do to prove worthy of those opportunities? And that's what made the difference. And that's what I'm encouraging people in our program to do, is figure out how you can add value to society, and then more people in society will take a vested interest in helping you succeed. And I'm very clear and very transparent. I want to create as many products as I can and sell them to prisons and schools across the country. And that brings us to the last question that you asked me. How do I do it? You asked me about Amazon, and you asked about my Amazon page. And would it make sense for me to go to Amazon? I'm going to show this page. I'm going to show my Amazon author page.
What I asked was, would it make sense to buy a targeted ad on Facebook that simply drove them from Facebook to your Amazon page to buy, let's say, Earning Freedom or Straight A's or one of your other books dealing with
So that's a great question. Let me explain to you the business metrics behind that question. When you are building information technology products, you've got to figure out the relationship between the costs of finding your customers and converting those customers into clients. Well, if Earning Freedom, for example, sells on Amazon for only $25, if I was going to, and it sells for $25, I don't get all $25 because I also would have to buy the books and manufacture the books. So the cost of the book itself might be, when you figure postage and everything else like that, it might be $10 or $11, because that's a big book. I mean, here's what Earning Freedom looks like, right? It's a 400-page book, right? It costs me about $8 or $10 to produce this. Then with postage, I think all in with postage, it's about $10. So if you sell it for $25, there's only a $15 gross profit on each book. Well, I can use that as a metric. If I'm going to spend $1,000 on ads, how many books will I have to sell to get back the $1,000 investment? I would have to sell $15 for me to make $1,000. Let's say if I sold 100 books, that would be $1,500 in profit. So that would make sense. Now I've got a convertible metric. If I spent $1,000 on ads, I would probably have to drive 10,000 people. You could go back to and see how many ads could I buy for $1,000. Let's go back to Facebook. Take a look. And what I'd have to do on Facebook, I'd have to look at what it costs to boost the post, right?
Right.
So I look at this. Actually, let me share my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. There, I'm sharing my screen with you. Now you can see Facebook. Can you see Facebook now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd have to design an ad, and I'd have to play it right here, and I'd have to say, well, if my budget is $1,000, I will reach 120,000 to 330,000 people for $1,000. No, that's $10,000. $1,000. For $1,000, I'm going to reach about 73,000 to 190,000 people. All right? And I can target who I want to market. I want to market people like you, right? I would like to market individuals who have a budget. Okay? Because those are more qualified leads for me. And I want them to go specifically to my landing page. Because I'm so confident that if I can get in front of educators, they're going to see that I offer a unique value proposition. Why? Because people in prison will want to learn from somebody who went through prison and succeeded. So my goal will be to drive them. It may make sense for me to say, just log into my website and I will give you a copy of Earning Freedom. Okay? And I know I'm going to have to spend, that might cost me, that total marketing campaign may cost me $5,000. But if I sell my product for $2,000 and I get 10 people to buy, that's $20,000 in revenues. So that makes sense.
Right. So really then the process is you don't want to take them directly from Facebook to Amazon. You want to take them from Facebook to your landing page.
Exactly. Because if I send them to Amazon, they may look all around Amazon but not buy my product. I want it to be, I wouldn't be able to measure my success. If I take a look at, let's take a look at this again. I want to share my screen with you again. Because this is all part of strategic thinking with marketing. Okay? If I show you this page right there, and I look at this book here, Get My Best-Selling Book. Okay? He's probably going to give me this book. I know this guy. He is actually the owner of ClickFunnels. All right? And he is driving me to a page. He is driving me to a page to get his book. Yes, I want my free copy of the .com Secrets book. You know why he's doing that, Dave? Because he wants
he's going to get your email.
Exactly. And he'll then, if I'm interested in that kind of a book, then I'm absolutely interested in ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a product that he sells to me for $3,000. He may spend it, he may have a budget of spending, it's going to cost me $200 to reach every client. But if I spend $200, I get a $3,000 order. And on that $3,000 order, I make a 30% profit margin, so I make $1,000. So you're getting 5 times the return on investment that you would if you were to just do something else. That's the value of digital marketing.
I see.
You see, I've got a funnel system. I want to drive 100,000 people into the funnel, knowing that of those 100,000 people, only 1% is going to act on my ad. Right? So that's 1,000 people that will act on my ad. And then if those 1,000 people, that 1%, maybe 5% of those people are going to take action and get my free book. That's 50 people. But if they wanted my book, it's a very good sign that they like my product and what I'm offering.
Right.
So then he would take it to the next level. And now you'll see this a lot on Facebook. There are a lot of people on Facebook. Like here's a guy, and I know this guy also. He offers a webinar program. Okay? So he wants to sell the product that I use, that I'm going to use on Wednesday to, you don't see him yet. He wants to sell me this product. Right? I clicked on the ad and I got to this page. All he wants is my email. My first name and my email. And then you're going to get 7 full video lessons to learn how to do webinars. But I know he's going to try and sell me a product that costs $1,000 because I bought his product before. Okay?
Okay.
And I use that product to reach my market. That's why I'm going to go out and try and pitch. And I got a phone call, you see, from one of the people who wants to talk to me. So you see, it's all part of a system. Otherwise, you end up with a website that's beautiful, but nobody can find.
Right, right.
So if you're going to make the investment in writing a book, writing a course, creating videos, you've got to have the whole package. And if you have the whole package, then you have to continue the investment by marketing and driving people there and converting them into clients and understanding the science behind it all.
Well, that makes perfect sense. I can see that, clearly you need a tool like a Facebook that'll give you a targeted ad.
And Facebook's only one place. Like if I'm marketing to prisons and jails, that's why I asked you during our conversation, well, who are the people who are the decision makers? Where do they read? Where do they get their information? Maybe they get their information right here. Like I'm going to share my ad with you, share my screen. Maybe they go to a place like this. Maybe I should go here and go to corrections.com. What's there? Oops, correct. That's not a site. I made a mistake. Corrections.com. Is that a website? Let's just see. Because I sell to the prison industry. Okay, there's the prison industry. There's somebody who put an ad. Maybe I should buy an ad right here and talk about my reentry program or talk about my, prison education program. And then I'm targeting specifically to people like these guys are doing, accredited 100% online degree for the criminal justice professional. Why would they do that? They buy that banner ad there instead of Facebook because they believe that their targeted market is visiting this website. And so if I click on that, I'll probably go to a landing page. And there it is, a landing page. Want to know more? Want to know more? There it is. Okay? And that's how their business model works. But it's not that, this one's not so sophisticated. Because the reality is, this does not have a dedicated landing page. The most sophisticated marketers right now have dedicated landing pages so that I can tell that if I'm spending money to drive you there, I can now measure how many people took the next step, pushed the button, and said, yes, I want to buy, and then took the next step, which is ultimately what you want them to do, pull out their credit card and enter that information. Uh-oh, I've lost your audio. I don't hear you. Do you hear me? I don't hear you right now. I don't know why. Shoot. I'm going to stop and call you back.